Someone did a remix of the Superman footage that James Gunn shared online, a remix in the form of a Krypto trailer. I'm not going to show the whole thing, just the relevant parts at the end, but this will give you a taste, and we'll probably still get hit. So here we go. Let's watch a little bit of this.
Krypto, the movie, coming soon, based on James Gunn's dog Ozu. Who fucking cares?
Did you find it strange that Ozu was kind of a self-insert of James Gunn's dog? He tells this elaborate story about the dog, and then we see that one scene, and it's his dog. Then he did confirm there's a. I'm worried for this movie. I'm worried James Gunn is promoting the movie like his private social media. I have concerns about the film.
I would like to see more of the cast being promoted. Like, I want to see more David Cornsweet, and I want to see more Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult. They're actually, like, I mean, they're great actors. They should be a bit more front and center. I understand because there's so much riding on James Gunn for this that he's trying to take a little bit of the lead, probably to circumvent that. If it fails, he can then say, well, it's 100% my fault, and it's not going to fail. Be attacked for it. But I don't think it's going to fail at all, because we're getting
Snow White wasn't going to fail.
Snow White was always going to fail.
Yeah, Snow White was going to make over 500 million, Rob. But
although
okay,
I thought it was going to make it. I did think it was going to make money.
We're going to be shown a Superman world that we've never seen in live action before. That is also very reminiscent of like the Silver Age with a little bit of Bronze Age and Modern Age in there. I think it might be a little off-putting at first, but the angle of Krypto. I mean, I grew up with 5 dogs. 2 of them behaved exactly like Krypto did in that scene, especially after I wiped out off the sled tobogganing it up in Canada, and you're really, really hurt, and the dog just keeps jumping on you, and you need to go to the hospital.
It's just, what image for Superman did you want to project first? Hopeful and strong and powerful? Because I don't get that when I watch this, or him constantly getting beat up by the dog, or the yummy whatever pose he's in. Bro, I just need strong Superman with the hopeful operatic music, and I have not gotten that at all. I
mean, we got tasted that when he's rescuing the kid from those pipes.
But you show it after. I don't know, man.
Well, the other part too is
what they released.
Do you want a Mary Sue Superman, or do you want something that has a little bit of stakes to it?
Why does everyone say that? It's the same thing with Luke Skywalker. Just because I want a vulnerable character doesn't mean I need to see him drinking green titty milk, or I need to see him get beat up by his fucking dog because James has said that a dog with superpowers would be a nightmare. There's other ways to be fair. Robert, I've read All-Star Superman. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's how he's choosing to show and depict it first.
Well, I don't mind the Krypto, but dogs do that actually. Dogs will hurt you accidentally.
Kryptonian dogs are smarter than human dogs.
It's a cute dog thing. I'm okay with that. It's fine. I'm told they're doing reshoots. That there are reshoots. I heard this.
But you know what?
Already now? That's normal though.
Yeah.
Every movie does reshoots.
Yeah.
Pickup shots.
In the game.
Well, they did pickup shots a months ago.
Yeah, they only did a day and a half.
Yeah.
Like I'll be concerned if they're on their 4th or 5th reshoot. If this is like their first reshoot, okay. I mean, movies do that.
But I'll say this on the positive end, James Gunn has a very good track record.
Yep.
Right. A very good track record. So even his indie movies before Guardians, his small indie movies were really amazing.
Oh, hell yeah,
dude.
Well, also, Chris, at CinemaCon, the thing they showed from Superman was twice as long as what they released with that Krypto scene. And there was the scene with the Superman robots talking about Krypto was hilarious.
Yes.
Like, we don't care about this creature. Like they're what they didn't show that was at CinemaCon is that Krypto has completely trashed the Fortress of Solitude. Just destroyed it. And the Superman robots want to get rid of him. They're like, we don't want this thing here. We don't need it. It's just a pain in the ass. And they make one of them says something that's really like dismissive, like we can get rid of this for you if you want. We have no we have no connection to this. It was really, I mean, it made it a lot more fun, and it was and then Superman puts Krypto in his place and flies off, and it was really, and then they showed more clips of like Superman sitting down for an interview with Lois Lane, and there was a lot more really interesting stuff happening in that trailer, but they haven't shown that, they haven't released it publicly.
I just find it odd that this was the scene they decided to show theater owners.
That part.
That you would think that they want to get theater owners excited about Superman, so they put up all the merch, they do all the promotional stuff, and this is the scene you give them. What I wanted was just something to show me that Superman is Superman, that this guy is Superman and is doing Superman things. And I'm confounded by why this was the clip they chose.
And the Sungate thing, the problem is, if you think he was screaming because it hurts to regrow your bones, we've seen him regrow his bones and not scream. If you think he was screaming because he was charging up like Goku, we've seen Superman recharge and not scream like that. We've seen this done before in every other medium, and he's never screamed like that. Now, does that mean he can't? No, it's just, again, why would you choose to show that first?
I'm told basically that is the first scene of the movie.
Yeah.
That's how the movie begins. And it does concern me because it was confirmed that James Gunn has a 10 pages of dialogue scene between Lois and Clark. He's Superman, but he's doing an interview as Superman, dressed as Clark. Lois already is aware his identity, he knows who he is. So that scene is 10 minutes in the middle of the movie with them having a conversation philosophically about Superman and what he means. And I mean, I usually go to the bathroom at least once in a movie. Now I know when to go, but I think that scene gets cut down dramatically.
Yeah,
sure
the Donner film was like 5 minutes of a flirtatious interview between Lois and Superman before they went to the flying moment. So yeah,
to Script's point, I wanted to be hurt. I don't want him to be OP. I'm glad that we're starting with a hurtable one, especially if he was fighting a Kryptonian or something. That's acceptable. But people are asking what's wrong with him screaming? It's not that he screamed; it's how he screamed.
Childish. Yeah, like the marketing has been bad. I'll be the first to say that. But I also say this. All of this hand wringing over Superman, it's like, do you trust James Gunn or not? That's really what it comes down to. Do you think James Gunn knows his superheroes? Does he know the tone that we need to get for Superman? Do you think James Gunn understands that? Or do you think it's going to be a bunch of Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide and Peacemaker, and that's the only thing James Gunn knows? I think James Gunn knows his superhero genre, and I think it's going to be fine. I am nervous just from the marketing that people may be turned off before they get to the movie because they're like, I don't know about this. So I am nervous about that, but I think the movie's going to be good. It might need to be great, however, in order to save DC. If this thing fails, it's over. It's over for DC before it even gets started because Creature Commandos really didn't capture us like, maybe they wanted it to. I don't know. I wasn't really blown away by Creature Commandos. That was the first thing that he did. And if he follows it up with a good Superman movie, then that,
he's got
we
Supergirl.
Want it to be great. Yeah, and then Supergirl. It's like, yeah. So to me, I'm not worried about the movie being a good movie, but I feel like it needs to elevate. It needs to go above being good. I think it needs to be great, and I think it needs to really like sell the DCU immediately and get everybody invested. It's like, oh, okay, well, what else is coming out next for DC? Supergirl? I wonder what that's going to be. Oh, we got Clayface. How's that going to fit in? And all the different things that are going to be coming down the line. Yeah. People should start getting excited about that after walking out of Superman. If they're just saying, it was a good movie, then I think this thing is already over.
I agree that the marketing has been really bad, like very bad for this movie. But look, I'm still going to say that I trust James Gunn. I just do, because say what you want to about the guy, man. He took a book that should not have worked at all, right? He took the Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a very niche comic book. Like even in the 80s, I think I was one of the few people who read that on a regular basis. And it was a totally different team back then, right? I talked about this on Georgia's show yesterday. He made that book work and made it $1 billion franchise, right? So he could work with big numbers and he could work with small numbers. I love Slither. I love Super. He is a great director. I'm cautiously optimistic, right? But at the same time, it's more on the side of optimistic because he's one of the few directors that I'm like, look, at the end of the day, like you said, D, at the end of the day, he knows the characters, right?
Yeah.
He at least knows the characters. He's
He
not
also
just
knows
an
empathy
asshole.
and emotion. Sorry to interrupt, but he also knows empathy and emotion because all those Guardians films really hit you in the heartstrings.
Made you care for a raccoon.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going.
Look, post Suicide Squad, he turned Peacemaker from a character we absolutely hated in the Suicide Squad into a character we absolutely love in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Like he did that flip around. This guy knows how to write. And so I'm not worried about the movie. I'm really not worried about the movie. I'm just worried about how the audience is going to take his version of Superman and if they're going to show up to the theaters.
I'm waiting for this, by the way, Chris.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for the movie. I want it to be good. I 100% agree with the rest of you who say that the marketing hasn't been very good because it hasn't. It really hasn't. I think that we've gotten years and years and years of a scowling Superman, and now we're seeing kind of the same thing in these in what they are introducing us to with James Gunn's Superman. I want to see something hopeful. I want to see a beacon of hope in Superman. So far, we haven't seen that yet. I understand why they're marketing it so much with James Gunn because they are relying on him for the future of DC from now on. So I can understand why they're really centering this around James Gunn. But I do agree that they need to really focus on this is our Superman. This is David Corenswet. He is our Superman. Introduce us to those actors who really aren't very well known. I mean, I've only seen David Corenswet in one other thing. So unless like they're centering it around James Gunn because he's the most well known out of pretty much maybe the whole cast, then I can see why they're doing that. But I would like more focus on the actors as well. And really just I need a banger trailer. I need a really good trailer because so far like the trailers have been fine, but they're not like incredibly motivating. Like I want to go see this new Superman movie, and I really want
look up.
to do
Hashtag look up. But we keep showing him on the ground beaten up. It's like, bro, but show him in the air, show him winning and fighting kaiju and Ultraman, and like it'll make $1 billion. But you're not showing that. Well, I can't stand for a
going to
movie.
be huge. That next trailer is going to be huge. Hey
Yeah,
guys,
it's like we're going to see the movie in spite of the marketing.
Derek has to leave us.
Derek, thank you so much, man. Subscribe to Derek Anderson, the DA, and thank you for being on. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good day.
Take care. See you, Derek.
I mean, I think the thing about Superman that this movie is going to be all there's always been an effort to set the modern superhero film in quote unquote our world. If you look at even Superman the movie is basically set in Metropolis is New York City. He runs into Rex Reed, for instance. This is the first time that I think we're getting a modern superhero film that takes place in a fantasy version of our Earth with all of this super science, and there's aliens running all over the planet. Everybody knows that there's many superheroes that exist. So I think the tone of
This is what he's doing.
The tone of this movie is going to be very, very, very different than anything we've seen before. Even in in Smallville, in the Arrowverse things, and I think there's going to be much more of a played up fantasy element. So I think that's going to just be something new and different that we haven't seen, and we don't know what it is yet. And I think until we see more of it, it's going to be kind of hard to wrap our heads around the kind of tone that this movie is going to have. That's why I'm cautiously optimistic, and I think we should wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it really is going to be important to see if normies are into this because they are being bombarded by superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason Marvel has been declining is normies are like, these movies feel like homework. In particular, Captain America felt like homework with so many things you had to know or be clued in on. If this Superman if he is able to translate this world like he did the first Guardians movie, I have faith in James Gunn, but it's a very, in the same way that Zack Snyder's Man of Steel was such a departure from what we thought Superman was. This will be similar.